for being here. So I just brought my little list of things so I say things in the right order. So I promise not to look at it between them. But the first thing that I love for people to do, I know maybe this isn't the right audience for this, is to just have a look around. Because I love the way that sculpture, but all art really, we can trace people's interests and what they're engaged with is like a tracing through space, and I always love to watch that happen. But I can see this isn't exactly the right place to do that at this moment, but I do think it's the most important thing in a way for me to allow, to have work be just taken in before a lot is said, before I say a lot about it, or and there's always a press release, but I just love that encounter because it brings us very physically into our bodies, into our minds through our bodies. It's like an innate experience. So, Robert Bider, yes, 1989, and I saw this piece again. It was at the Walker. I had a survey that was at the Sculpture Center, and then went to the Walker, and this was in the Walker. And I hadn't seen it for a really long time, and there's a lot of strange stories about it, but it so happened that the original one, were moving storage, and they put these blocks, which are flame-cut steel, and they weigh 300 pounds each, on the loading dock, and went back in, and when they came out, they were gone. So I don't know how that happened, but so without those, there was no piece. So we needed to remake it, and we had to make an AP for it. So this is the AP, and the collector now has his piece back with new blocks. But what I realized when I was at the show and I saw it again, I was like, this sculpture is, there is no, the support and what's being supported are completely dependent on each other. There is nothing that's more important. Like a lot of times the support of something is not seen or hidden in the back, and like an armature or even sometimes a base, you're not supposed to see the base. So, but I love that about this, and also just the material that this is so. This is flame cut steel, like I said, and lasts a very long time. And this rubber is pure gum rubber, and it has a very short lifespan. It's maybe about 7 years. So it has to be remade, and the material has to be refound every time that it's, it ages out, whereas these do not. So that concept of the support and what is supported having kind of an equal balance in the work was something that I was interested in bringing to my wall works, which I have done them for a long time. And I must admit, like, I purposely did nothing special at all with the support. It was just an angle, a symbol. So these works that you see here, they were all made this year, and the backs are highly polished, two metals. One is aluminum and one is brass. It's a marine brass. They sometimes call months. And so it does this thing where you can see the back of the work at times. There's also like a flash of reflection as you move. So your movement is kind of clocked within these reflective surfaces. And I used another thing that I had done before, but I call them the legs, so the parts of the ceramic that allow the work to come out from the wall. They determine the shape of that aspect of the work, the support, that thing that holds it up to the wall. So each one has a very different shape depending on how it encounters the wall. And you can see that when you look at it. I think it's taken on. Just describe it verbally. They're made in a different way than I have made the ore, so that it is natural, which is flat, so I did that for a long pieces in a different way. And so you can kind of see, I don't know if it's something I want forms on piece. And you make molds and put the only piece that's made of red clay, which is a clay that has a lot of iron in it, and it has a big shrink factor. So when you're working with larger things, things can shrink and break. So this at one point had 4 feet on it, and when we fired it with the glaze, that leg broke off and this crack happened. And this is kind of my approach to these things. Like, I allow a lot of stuff. I allow it. Like, I'm not gonna throw it away or try to hide it. But so it was fine with 3 feet, which was good. And then it had this crack and this hole. So I decided to give it a gold tooth. Kind of emphasize that and just then kind of make it. So that was the decision. This one wanted me to do that for it. All of this extra glaze just fell, because I glazed them flat, just fell into the depressions of this piece. So it was a funny mistake, and I liked it, and I kept it. And when it came out with the glaze firing, it had some little cracks all over it. And so I go in and I have to use a Dremel to go down to where that ends, where there's no more crack, because otherwise it would just kind of keep opening. And then I just allow that. I don't try to cover it up. So, this is this other kind of, in painting they call it incident, that I just let be part of it. I don't try to fix it after it happens. So I just try to work with what the process gives me. And last but not least, this is Starry Ditch. And I think this is the one where you can really see a lot of the implication of whatever the form was that it was molded on. Any questions? No? It's okay. So I'll be around if something comes up.
I'll do a shade.